So emotional intelligence is about how good are we with ourselves. Then everything else automatically follows. We can't be critical of ourselves and then expect to shower love to somebody else. We can't be blaming ourselves all the time and then expect to compliment and appreciate somebody else. It is not possible. You can only give what you have with you. So emotional intelligence, it starts with becoming better with ourselves and then extending that into others most naturally. The meditation process, this meditation that we practice every day, is helping us develop this emotional intelligence in many, many facets.
Without meditation, the paradise is lost. With meditation, the paradise is regained. Without anapanasati, the paradise is lost. With anapanasati, the paradise is regained. Milton said, the mind in itself creates a hell of a heaven and a heaven of a hell. The mind has to be rectified. A worldly mind creates a hell for everybody. And a spiritual mind creates a heaven for everybody. Every worldly mind needs to be transformed into every spiritual mind. Mind should be limited to only one thing, that is the breath. Become one with your own normal, natural, easy, soft, simple, tender, peaceful, tranquil breath, my dear friends.
Earlier it was like I was forcing myself to do something which was not really fascinating me, but slowly I started enjoying everything that I was doing, and all the credit I would just give it to the meditation, the breath mindfulness meditation that brought a lot of clarity to me, a lot of passion into me.
I was having a fear of thoughts, but it has become very, very clear what is the purpose of life. And whenever I do meditation, I was doing from the long 5-6 years, but guided meditation, even with so much that the clarity of thoughts. So what you have said is people from spiritually poor to spiritually rich through the journey of this meditation is excellent.
As a teen, I went through a lot of things, stress, depression, anxiety, because of exams and getting into the right college. But even after entering college, things remained the same. I wasn't sure how to get back. But then, after meditation, things started changing, not at once, but gradually. I started focusing more on what I want. And I started gaining some confidence to face the world.
The best thing is my son. I have a great relationship with him now. I used to think that I would actually have to, teach him, right? But today I have become a student. I learn from him every day, and we have become friends. And that itself probably is for anybody is a great accomplishment. Meditation has definitely helped me there.
Dear friends and masters, happy morning and a great evening. Welcome back. Those of you continuing the 6 weeks program, Jupiter, and welcome to anyone joining new today. We're continuing this program for 3 more weeks. That is a long enough time to actually causing an impact to our mindset. If a mindset changes, then our outer experience is changing, because thoughts and feelings create our outer reality. When people say, I have my best time of my life, I'm having this great relationship now with my family, or with my son, or with my colleague. It's not something that you practice, it is something that comes from within, because we change the mindset, the way we think and feel. If we practice being nice to somebody, and then we all think that we want to practice being nice to somebody, and we write down a few things, but then by the time 2 weeks later, we would have forgotten half the things from there. Or many times the practice itself is gone. It's all happening because our subconscious program, which is otherwise making us behave based on our past. Subconscious programs, which are making us judge, which are making us focus our attention on not the people around, or on some past events, or some future worries. And so we are now there in present with the people in front of us, with the people around us. The subconscious programs are making us be in our survival programs. How to get more? How do I protect more? How do I take care of myself? And it never lets us take care of the people around us, because we are at the survival mode. Three weeks is a good enough time to slowly understand what is my thought process. Quantum physics is saying that if you all been understanding, that our thoughts create a reality. But only we are the cause for our outer reality, and we have every opportunity to change our outer reality. And so this week, part of the 6th week, we are covering this emotional intelligence. We always say your IQ is helping us do greater things, whereas EQ multiplies experience. So EQ helps us to do greater things with greater people. IQ helps us to do things very successfully, and then EQ multiplies it by working with more successful people, by recognizing how to work with people. Emotional intelligence, the core of emotional intelligence is mindfulness, awareness. Being aware of everything that I am doing at the present moment. And so while it can be an external practice, but it can come internally most naturally, and that's what meditation is doing. Meditation is leading to a natural mindfulness states. Meditation is developing that awareness of how am I thinking, how am I feeling, how am I reacting at any given moment. When I have that awareness, then I have the opportunity to do an appropriate response. I have an opportunity to act for it, not react for it. That's it. Reaction becomes action. Uncontrolled reaction becomes a deliberate action. Then everything changes around us. Emotional intelligence is about recognizing what is truly important. An entrepreneur in his 20s got a job in New York City, was earning $20,000 per annum. So roughly you figure it's about $1,800 per month. So his expenses were about $1,000. So he was saving a little bit. $1,000 per month, you save a little bit. So after a few months, he saved about $12,000, which means it is sufficient for him to last for 1 year, because God expense of 1,000, right? So once his balance came to that, so then he quit his job immediately, and then he always wanted to go into music. So went into music. He went into doing what he really liked to do. And then so he was narrating his story to his friend. So tell me a little more. So after a few years, he did that. He came out, he left the job, he went into his music, thinking that he'll be able to get a few things here, there. He can definitely get a few things here and there. Few extra, he can earn a few dollars here and there. He's got enough money to last for at least 12 months. And so in the meanwhile, he can get something. So a few years later, he was narrating, and then his friend is asking, okay, so tell me what happened when your company got sold. He said, that just added a few dollars to my bank account. It didn't really change much into my life. He was able to figure out, he was highly emotionally intelligent to figure out what is really right for him. He had the right mindset. He is not going after things because people are going after things. Instead, he's trying to do things that are right for him. And emotional intelligence is all about taking care of yourself first. Where the concept is what we have is what we give to others. We have to take care of ourselves first. Emotional intelligence is all about taking care of yourself first. If I am very critical about me, if I undervalue me, if I let others bully me, if I am constantly guilty about myself, so I'm critical, whatever that is, then whatever that you are doing to yourself, everything is contagious. Like the other day, Pari mentioned, everything is contagious. So what we have is what we give to others. And the idea is that with right intelligence of emotional intelligence, then we are multiplying experience, then we got to have the right things about ourselves. We got to do right things to ourselves, because that's exactly what we can give to others. So we will understand how meditation is helping us change the mindset, because the whole mindset becomes very important. How the brain is working from a neuroscience perspective is very important when it comes to dealing with people. It is one of the most complex nature of things. If we are a bundle of thoughts and emotions. And then so the other one, so we are an infinite thought and emotion. So everyone is also an infinite thought and emotion. So dealing and interacting is one of the most complex things So, and a lot of that is happening through this, how well we can manage our mind, and then how much deeper connection we have to our consciousness of the heart. And we'll understand during this week how meditation is helping. We'll understand some neuroscience principle once again in the context of emotional intelligence, to say how we are learning, how we are storing, how we are responding. And then we dwell deeper about this whole concept, which is sort of defines everything we do with people. And then so we understand emotional intelligence in 5 areas. Self-awareness, how much I'm aware about myself. And self-expression, how good I'm able to effectively communicate. Inspiration, so am I inspiring people around me? Communication, go a next level is inspiration. One is communication, second is being inspiring, because the whole idea is about multiplying our experience to everybody else around. So first know ourselves, express it effectively, and then be an inspire. Empathy, understanding people now a little more deeply. First 3 are about we doing something, and then now we start from other side, understanding them, empathy, developing empathy. And engagement, and then actually rallying people around, taking them along. So we'll understand our interactions with people, whether it's at office, or it's in our combined family, even with spouse, everybody. Understand how meditation can help greatly in all these areas, improve. If IQ is helping us land that great job, EQ is helping us go up the ladder. We always said this. And in the last 3 weeks, we understood how meditation is increasing our physical vitality, increasing our mental health and memory, mind powers, developing great amount of IQ, intelligence, ability to access various areas of the brain automatically. We understood the whole manifestation quotient, how we can give extra energy to manifest whatever that we are seeking to have. But this week is understanding this defines how we are with everybody else around, how we are with ourselves and how we are with everybody else around. Let's go into our meditation once again. And those joining new, we are practicing Anapanasati meditation, our breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind. In this meditation, we're emptying the mind. Our mind is thousands of thoughts. It's got thousands of thoughts in a day, of which 90% are unwanted, unnecessary, unpleasant, stressful. And so our goal is to empty the mind. This is a technique by Gautama Buddha, popularized by Brahmarshi Patriji, from whom I learned all the wisdom and understood the intricacies of meditation. We've been doing an amazing amount of service, founder of Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement. The technique is to empty the mind. And then we do this very simply. It's called Anapanasati. So we do this very easily by just observing a natural breath with our eyes closed. So the posture is simple. We close our eyes, remove the specs if you have, and then putting fingers into fingers, resting your hands in your lap comfortably. Keep them in your lap and cross your feet at ankle. So you can sit in the chair, you can sit on the floor. You're sitting on the floor cross-legged, sitting on the chair, fingers into fingers. Either way, fingers into fingers. And then placing your hands in your lap comfortably. You can put up the slide. So putting your hands comfortably. And then observing our natural breath. So that's the posture. Posture is to be comfortable, and then with your eyes closed, observe your normal natural breath. Where do you observe? Observe that breath, that air is going in your nostrils. It's anywhere in the nose. Take a point in the nose, preferably in the middle of the eyebrows, which is also called the root of the nose, right? If this is the tip, this is the root. So the root of the nose. So that's also called the third eye area. Behind there, in the middle of the brain, we have a pineal gland, which has a connection to meditation. So we put our attention anywhere, preferably here, and then observe breath is going in and coming out. Observe the breath, not this area. Observe the breath in that area that's going in and coming out. Natural breath, no manipulation, no forceful inhalation, exhalation. So when you observe the breath, our mind becomes empty. As you observe the breath, slowly breath becomes lighter. I want you to observe subtly. Observe that light breath going in and coming out. Just observing, not measuring, not analyzing what's happening to it. Do not analyze, do not measure. Instead, just say that, okay, there is air going in, coming out. It's got to be there. So air going in, coming out. All I want you to observe that much. And so do that slowly, the breath becomes lighter and shorter. And as that is happening, mind start becoming empty. So as the mind is becoming empty, we start experiencing a lot of emptiness. We start experiencing energy. All emptiness is energy, quantum physics. We start experiencing energy. We may not. And then when you experience energy, there may be a lot of sensations in the body and mind. Be a witness to them. Observe them. Do not analyze them. Just be a witness. Just simply watching without analysis. So that's what you want to do. They call meditation experiences. So we're observing the breath, mind becoming empty. As the mind is empty, we start experiencing potentially energy. Many body sensations, mind sensations may happen. Be a witness to them. In case you think you are with your thought, you are thinking, because thoughts come natural, bring your attention back to the breath again and continue to observe. So you are with your eyes closed for the whole duration. You're not opening the eyes. Even if you feel lots of thoughts are coming, if you're a first timer, lots of thoughts coming, but continue to observe the breath and be with it. And then slowly go into the emptiness. Thoughts come again, we get distracted. Put your attention back to the breath. Again, do the process and you'll go into thoughtless state again. So let's continue this process called Anapanasati. We're going to do this for some time. And before doing this process, we're doing something called heart elevation, which is to elevate ourselves into a higher feeling of love or joy or gratitude by recollecting a beautiful event from your life, from the past or from the present, where you feel a lot of love to people, to places, to things, where you are a lot of joyful, you're grateful to somebody because something happened, they helped you. Whatever that you felt made you good, I just want to recollect that and then relive that moment. That's called heart elevation process, which we are doing. Just follow my guidance for this. And I'm also guiding and playing music to make a meditation deeper. Relax yourself, dear friend. Sit comfortably. Remove the specs. With your eyes closed. Relax your body. Dear friends, dear masters, with your eyes closed, specs removed, keep your hands on your chest area. And rest your attention on your breath and on your sacred heart. with a slow, long, relaxing breath. Can you feel your beautiful heart? With that relaxing breath, feel your sacred heart, that seed of all emotions, which is nurturing all life with its energies of love, joy, gratitude. I want you to feel the beat, rhythm of your heart center, your primary connection into this quantum field of experiences of life. Can you recollect an experience, a memory from your past, from your present, or from your mind movie of love, of joy, of gratitude, and relive that moment and elevate yourself? Relive that moment of love, of joy, and feel that energy inside your beautiful heart. The more we experience love, the more we experience that gratitude, kindness, joy, the more we become one with all things and everybody. There is only one heart, there is only one life. Deep inside, we're all interconnected with each other. We are specks of energy in this quantum field. Love, joy, gratitude are all the ways to experience that connection. Feel that energy, dear friends. And where your attention goes, there the energy flows. And allow yourself to radiate that energy to every corner of this planet Earth. And then allow yourself to direct that energy to heal you deeply. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation with your fingers into fingers resting comfortably in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in breath and the out breath. We are going into powerful group meditation. In this meditation, we observe our normal, natural in breath and the out breath for the whole duration. Our goal is to empty the mind. Our goal is to merge into that greater emptiness, that quantum consciousness. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes empty. It is natural to have thought. When you recognize you are thinking, gently go back to observing your in-breath and the out-breath and allow yourself to slowly become empty of all thoughts in your mind. Observe your normal, natural in breath and the out breath, and allow yourself to slowly become empty of all thoughts. When you observe our breath, our mind becomes empty. As our mind is becoming empty, we channelize all that energy into the generous present moment. We develop greater awareness. And we participate fully in that experience. Be with your breath. Tell yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty of all thought. As your mind is becoming empty, can you become aware of that emptiness all around you, occupying your room? Become aware of that emptiness, of that blackness, of that void inside of you, all around you. We are less matter, more emptiness and energy. The more we empty our mind of all thought, the more we experience that greater emptiness where there's no body, where there's nothing, in no place and no time. If you find yourself distracted in thought, go back to observing your breath and slowly find that emptiness all around. all emptiness is energy. That is the unlimited quantum energy field with infinite possibilities and opportunities. The longer we stay connected to this field of energy, as no body, as no thing, the more we draw in the possibilities into our life. Allow yourself to merge into that emptiness of yourself. Allow yourself to stay connected to that energy, to that blackness, that void. This is that quantum consciousness, your divine self. The longer you experience this energy as no body, as no thing, the more whole you become. Go deeper and deeper into yourself, dear friends. Friends, let's express gratitude to all things and everybody. Gratitude is the highest state of receivership. Be grateful to your parents for giving us this beautiful connection to this universe. Be grateful to all your teachers and mentors for expanding your knowledge and wisdom. Be grateful to all the people in your life, your family, your friends, your relatives, your colleagues, your partners, for helping us learn so many things. Express gratitude to this grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals, for filling our lives with beauty, energy, mystery, and more. Give thanks to all things used, the technology, your companies, your government, the systems that make our lives so comfortable. Be grateful to yourself for caring for you and for caring for others. And be grateful to this intelligent universe, this quantum field, for allowing us to experience so much more in this life. Relax your body. Feel your body. And let your autonomous nervous system repair your body. As you relax, recollect your experience from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? Who have you become? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Okay. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. Anybody would like to share their experience? What have you felt? If anyone first timers too? For meditation or to this session? In meditation, we are experiencing energy in many ways. All emptiness is energy. So we experience that energy. When we withdraw all our thought, and every thought is about a person or a place or a thing. And so when we withdraw all our thought, then we're withdrawing everything that we ever known about this material world, about ourselves and our environment. So we withdraw all of that. And when we do that, then we start feeling that thing that we truly are, which is that energy, that emptiness and energy. And so the body sensations, body movements, heat in the body, coldness in the body, visions, tingling, feeling of that energy, lightness, heaviness, many of those are a result of the energy that we have become. We emerge into this quantum field, so we start sometimes having this experience of whole, that we are is not separate from anything and anybody out there. We experience as if we are that whole. Like, you experience enormous peace because now you're that. So then you experience that connection, you experience a lot of peace. Peaceful. You might experience some kind of emotion. Things that have been suppressed for a long time, and they're all coming out. Meditation is helping us becoming lighter and lighter and lighter. Yes.
Right on the first or second day, you said that each experience is unique, and therefore don't compare. Don't worry if you don't have any experiences. So I stuck that. Good music last weekend and this weekend because of our experience. And there's a lot of peace and quietness. But after 3 weeks today, I had a very peaceful and quiet, nice experience. Not that I'm that tomorrow could be different, but it is a very, very good experience, and I was wondering whether I was going to sleep also now and then, but I wasn't sleeping, but pretty relaxed. Start thinking about I'm looking at my breathing. Very soon I slip into thinking about observing the breath, not just observing the breath, but thinking about observing the breath. And then the next level is to observe the breath and not think about observing the breath. So that itself becomes a thought. So various levels of thought, one builds over the other. And again, you have to get back. Start from zero and then get back to that. And it lasts for a minute at most or two probably. And then what goes on. Some days are good, some days are not so good. That's okay. Thank you.
Yes, so the good news of those, like you, I would not get any experience, and it was a lot challenging for me to let go of the thoughts. But the good news is, though, is the more we work for it, the more strong it's going to last. Right? So it's the more strong it's going to become, the more longer it's going to last. So it will last. It is just that we're going to take some time. There is a good reason why, of course, you're coming back again and again, is because while the experience by itself we may not have in a session, But you have to recognize that there is a state of slowdown in the brain with this process. And so then we are definitely activating our pineal gland. And so there is an information flow happening. And which has to help us in our wakeful time in whatever we do. Experiencing whatever we are doing a little more deeply. You must be knowing by now, if you have been practicing, which I'm sure you're practicing because we see you every day, in your day-to-day life, there must be some difference, which is only you can tell. The way you deal with
Yes.
people, yes. As we know, that's more important. And it's not necessary that some ever will have an experience of kind to make them experience of a kind in the meditation. Those who can,
Another thing is,
yeah,
instead of a long duration, even if it's for about 30 minutes to an hour that we do every day, because consistency of doing it for now 21st day, 22nd day, that helps a lot. Because I've been a meditator for many, many years, in and out. I do for a few days, then it goes off. But now consistently doing it for 22 days, I think has been a big help.
yeah. So if you ask me, can we do for shorter duration also? Is what you're asking me? Yes.
No, no, that's what I'm saying. Instead of doing for a long durations, I'm doing for short duration, but still it is helping me.
Yes.
More due to consistency, I feel, rather than the
Yes.
duration.
Sure. No, absolutely. It's like everyday hunger is every day, right? So you got to eat everyday food. So there is that stuff coming into the mind every day. And so we have to keep cleaning every day. It's just that we got to clean our house every day. It's like that. Every now and then it's okay for 3 days we don't clean it up. But we got to keep doing it if you want to stay focused on what's important for us. Okay. So yes, please do. Where you don't have the full 45 minutes or so. So at least for a few minutes every day is always good. Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Hari. And by the way, what's your name, sir? And where are you from?
My name is Sridhar. I am based at Madurai.
Madurai. Okay.
I used to work for a large automobile industry, retired from there.
Okay. Great to have you. Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Hari?
Good morning. Thank you, sir. I think this 2 weeks has been really wonderful. I think first time when I was being introduced by Shankar, my brother-in-law from Coimbatore.
Okay, I see.
So we were met first in Ananda. So when they called for the session for the meditation, usually meditation, I've been trying to meditate, but that didn't happen. But this time, I think this one positive thing that has happened to me is it has become a habit of every day morning. 6 o'clock is my meditation time. At maybe till 7:30 I've been stretching to do, because that routine of in the morning is started. But as such, concentration in the meditation, even though I keep trying to bring in the concentration on the breath, it hardly takes a minute to get back to the thoughts. The thoughts comes more than the concentration. But it has been very the 1 hour of observing myself on what is happening, what is all have done, is making something clearer for me. I hope that by the end of this 40-day session or during this process, something that I could really work on myself will help. And second thing, what I really observed amazing change was with my children. We, even in the night that before we go to bed, the 15 minutes of meditation, we put on your music. My daughter, she's around 12 years. Not one single day that she slept in the car for a long drive. However long the drive is, she will never sleep, nor in the bed. If you tell a story, it takes a long time for her to get to bed. She'll curl herself she'll be uncomfortable when during the sleep also. But after this meditation in the night time that we have put, 5 minutes to maximum of 10 minutes, she goes to a deep sleep. In the car, I was really surprised the way she fell asleep after the music. And in the night, it has become a practice for my son and my daughter that in the night before we're going to bed, they have started to, we want meditation music. So that has become a culture. And Nitya, my wife, is also, she's been, I think for the past 3-4 months, she's been doing a meditation. So thank you for, I just wanted to share this thing with you, sir.
Oh, really nice.
Yes.
I recollect Nitya and you in the session. You were
Yes.
also there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Yes, yes. Wonderful to know. I mean, this is great to know, right? That your children are now, especially your daughter,
Yes.
going to sleep. You know, the science is there. Meditation is consciously taking us to the delta state. So it is helping. I mean, it's not just that. It is delta state is just a result, but it is taking away that memory that may be bothering her. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Or it could be keeping that body part to rest, which may be bothering her. It could be many layers, right? It could be many layers. And so, wonderful. Because that's what meditation is doing. It's not biologically, physiologically, is making something change, but it is also changing the emotional brain quite a bit.
Emotion, yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank
and
you.
one more question is to start with what is the age group that you can actually start this?
5 years and above. I mean, by anybody.
Okay.
The thing is, only from 5-6 years, children not become children. I mean, they become non-children because of the conditioning.
Okay.
They start putting up things, so they slowly lose their divinity, their godhood. Otherwise, they're absolutely with themselves, with their own feelings, and then so they react based on that, not based on what others tell them. And so, as they're developing that, so then it's a time to start giving them meditation. So they declutter themselves. They maintain the originality. So 5-6 years is a good time, and then you don't have to make them concentrate or observe the breath and all that. Ask them to just sit down and close their eyes.
Okay.
That's sufficient for them because they will go automatically empty. Now, in truth, maybe around 9-10 years is when you tell them, hey, you observe the breath also. So they don't have to, otherwise, even young children don't have to do that. And then how much are they doing? They're 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes. That's all they need to do, right?
Okay.
Not even 10 minutes, but even below 10 years, just sit down for 10 minutes. It's great for them. If they sit for more, wonderful for them, right? There's nothing like it. Yes. Right.
The thing is, should they have a guided thing? Because I'm planning to introduce to my school children also. So they are young, less than 12, 13-year-old, starting from 2.5. So is there a guided thing that we can plan it, or is it just the music can do for them to close their eyes and sit?
Both are fine. Somebody can instruct them, and then they are good.
Okay.
They're good after that. So just music is good enough. And even if guidance is there, maybe it's once every 2-3 minutes, right? Both are fine for them. Generally, guidance is not necessary. They put music and they're good.
Okay.
Because they have much less compared to us that comes coming back to them, right? Yeah, in the mind. That's wonderful. Yes. Vandanaji, good to see you there.
How are you, Chandra? It's very nice to see you.
Yes, we're always great.
You should now put the music. I'm missing the dancing, like before you used to do the starting of the program, little dancing activity.
Okay. We're doing the end of the program. We'll probably start adding that to this from the weekends.
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of love and blessings and prayers for all of you, whole team.
Sure, we'll take that. Thank you. Right. Okay. So, friends, we have a few minutes. This concept of learning to being to doing is very important. The way our brain is working is that there are these three brains I've always talked about. Let me show you a slide, and I'm going to take us through for about 10 minutes, not too long. This is important in the context of emotional intelligence. Learning to doing to being. So the three brains that in the beginning someone was asking, right? I think Karuna Karji. So the conscious mind are the frontal brain, which is this, the peach color one that is there, which is the big far brain, is a conscious mind or the learning brain. Then the subconscious mind, which is the yellow color one, which is smaller in size, like a lemon size, but small, but is actually the cause for most of our actions day to day, subconscious, unconscious together. The subconscious is our outer activity. Often unconscious is our autonomous functions in the body and all of that. And also is the cause is our ego self. So there's three brains: conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Conscious mind, subconscious mind are the learning brain, thinking brain, doing brain, being brain. Now, whatever that we are learning, sensory inputs are coming through this neocortex, right? So that's what is processing all the environmental triggers. And then it takes them, it processes them, and then it attaches that to a specific memory or two based on what we learned from the subconscious. It pulls the memory from the subconscious and then tries to make a meaning out of it, conclusion out of it, and then immediately puts back a specific reaction. So it is good to understand a little bit around how this brain is working. Is that the brain has these 100 billion neuron cells. And these neurons are connecting with each other. Every time we learn something, the neurons connect with each other. A neuron is nothing but a cell in the brain, like a skin cell. So we call it skin cell. For brain, you call it neuron, right? So you have 100 billion of them and many more. And all of them are connecting with each other constantly. And they're all very, very tiny, right? They're very, very tiny. But a tiny neuron and another tiny neuron, they come together and connect. The connection is with something called a gap there. So there is an electrical impulse. Every time they come together, there is an electrical impulse that happens there, which is called an electrical pulse, a charge. And when that is fired, so then they come together, and so they are actually transmitting information at that point. They're storing or transmitting information. Like all digital technology, it's always, the electrical pulse, the circuit forming. So here also the brain, the circuits form. So every time that you learn something, every time that you recollect something, every time that you repeat something, I've learned first time, my thoughts create reality. Then I recollect it. Then when somebody says something, then I recollect suddenly what we learned in this session. I repeat it if I'm actually affirming for myself. So every time we do these actions, then the cells are firing and they're forming that more strongly. That means they're forming more connections around that piece of information we're learning. Anything, whether you learn or whether you recollect, the more times you recollect, the more times you learn, the more times you repeat, the more stronger that connection is being made. So learning is new connection, and memory or remembering something is a stronger long-term connection because you have repeated it and you have experienced it enough times. Now, learning a simple text is one thing, but learning with visuals and feeling is a lot more stronger, because it's simple text. If I just read a word, I am divine, is one thing. I am divine. Just reading those three words, I am divine, I have formed a few connections. But if I read that word, I am divine, with the backdrop of, let's say, Shiva, and that infused energy in there, very mystical picture, and then I'm reading on that, I am divine. And then so now we're learning that with this visual picture. A picture there with this mystical feeling that agrees us, and then all of that now encoded into our experience of learning. So now it takes many connections. Now, instead a picture, if I'm seeing a movie, there is an animated, a real mystical movie of, coming from Shambhala energy of Himalayas, and that camera, goes into the close-up and then comes back as if it's very, very mystical. Suddenly a form appears there, a grand form, that seen, unseen form, and that is written, I am divine. And so now it is a lot more deeper, because now we've got a feeling associated. The more we see that, suddenly we feel like, this connection to this divinity, right? All of the divinity that means to us. Suppose it also has these sounds and bells and this and that. So it makes us feel a lot more. So it makes us feel something at that point while we're learning I'm divine. So now you not only add a visual, you add a feeling to it. So there is just a text, then there is a visual, then there is a feeling. Now, the more we add with the feeling, then your learning is a lot more deeper. Why? Because the brain is storing in a lot more connections. Brain stores things in a lot more connections. If text takes, let's say, 1,000 connections, I'm divine, then to do visual, it takes 1,000,000 connections. And to do the feeling with that movie that you're watching, and I'm divine, it takes then potentially 100 million connections. How much the brain have? Capacity is unlimited. It is trillions and trillions and trillions, so we don't have to worry about that part. So 100 million connections to just store I'm divine. Now, the thing is, the more it stores in, the more longer term your memory becomes. Now, if I repeat the same, if I watch the movie a second time and a third time, then brain is storing, increasing the number of connections, so it becomes more stronger. I want you to pay attention to that particular point and say, if what I'm repeating is becoming stronger in my mind, and what I'm experiencing is becoming even more stronger in my mind, and the more stronger it becomes, the more it projects for us. The more stronger it becomes, the more it projects for us. So first we learn something, then we repeat, we hear here and there. So let's say you're reading a book on expressing forgiveness. You're reading a book on expressing forgiveness. So the forgiveness is giving you a lot of examples of how, Mahatma Gandhi is able to forgive. It always gets quoted, right? He forgave. He said his last words, don't do anything to God say, right? You don't do anything to him. He is just doing what he wanted to do. Highest amount of forgiveness that one could give. So you're reading a book about forgiveness, it is giving you lots of examples. And so you read that, so you are sort of relating to your life incidents, you store something. Now you talk about it, you go to your office, you go to your colleague, you call your children, and then start giving examples, because you want them to experience the same. You want them to know how forgiveness liberates you. Forgiveness liberates us. If somebody done something to us and then we hold on that memory, then we are stuck in that. Every time we see them, the trigger, and then it causes our happiness to go away for some time, right? Because whatever they've done, that memory is there. When we forgive, we erase the memory. So forgiveness is making us liberated, but we hold on to the memory. So forgiveness here, you want your children to experience it. You want to tell them the good thing. You want telling your colleagues. You repeat it. When you repeat it, then it becomes a little stronger for you, the knowledge of forgiveness. Next time, your friend who has experimented with the forgiveness comes back and then gives you stories and say, hey, look, you told me this great information. Thank you. This is my colleague really was nasty to me. He was just, trying to, he's just always in a survival mode. He always wants things. So he's nasty to me. He's always trying to pass comment or try to pull me down. But then, rather than in this constant perennial thing of, bothered about him, and then now I started forgiving. I started telling them, okay, so I understand where you're coming from. I understand you have your own challenge. So I forgive you. You're not taking away my greatness just because you say something. So I forgive you. I'm doing that forgiveness and I feel so good. So he tells you. Now, when he tells you, now that feeling, that memory becomes stronger for you again because you're learning. What we feel, think and feel, we become stronger. So it becomes stronger. It is there. It is getting stored, processed by the brain. It is going into our long-term memory, hippocampus. So it is nicely getting stored. The feeling brain, amygdala, is also storing the feelings. So it is all there because they are longer. Now, how did it stay longer? Because you got in these huge connections, a large number of connections. The large number of connections, the brain is always regenerating. Cells die, cells reproduce. When the cells die, if I store in few connections and some other cells die there, then I potentially lose it. But then I experience with feeling, so many memory connections are there. Even some cells die, I can reconstruct the feeling, the memory. I will never forget I'm divine if I'd watched it through a movie, because that feeling really close it, and then that words will come immediately. Whereas I'm divine merely the text is not there. So when we are learning about this forgiveness, and then we are through real life incident sharing, we're strengthening the connection. So it's great. It is there, it is stored for us. Now, as you're learning, now you are, let's say you've got this conversation going with your mother-in-law, or the spouses look at, whatever, the daughter-in-law, we have this conversation going. There is always potentially a blame game. And the next time you have this altercation, a conversation with a mother-in-law where you're about to burst out and then about to give the same reaction, or to your father-in-law about to give the same reaction on the other side, because we are conditioned. What do we condition with? And every time we have a lot of discussion about things that are so unpleasant, so we're conditioned about past events, how mean you are, how you are just not bothered about waking up early, how you just not bothered about taking care of us, that everybody looks from their own point of view and not considering others' point of view. And so there's constant arguments. And then how nitty, how picky that the other person is about everything you've done. At home, you cook something, they say, oh, you didn't follow what I said, so the taste is different, I can't have it. So all of those we keep remembering, and so they become stronger. So next time, again, in the morning, you wake up and you're getting into the kitchen, you say, oh man, so you try to avoid, you try to do things differently. But that's the time, the more you learn about forgiveness, suddenly a spark can come. You have an option to go and give the same old response to your mother-in-law, father-in-law about saying how mean you are, and then your own way, snubbing them off or cutting them off or going away into the room because they said something again with tears. You have an option to do that. Or because we've been learning about forgiveness, suddenly that spark can come. The spark, somewhere it lights up and say, hey, look, you have a better response this time. You have an alternative. You can walk away, or you know what, just stay there. Understand the other person might be in a survival. Maybe it's insecure. And so about the relationship. And so maybe that's why he's saying, so just hold on. Send a different signal. Forgive deep inside and say, fine, I accept. I understand you. So it is okay. Just give that forgiveness response, because you've already heard enough times with friends. With yourself, you read it, and so you got it. So now this time you have two options. One is to walk away. Another is to give this response of just staying there calmly and then smiling to yourself, but then being in a considerate voice and say, okay, no problem. What you would like me to do? You can give with forgiveness, you can respond differently. So you do that. One time you do it. It's great. It's suddenly now that other response The frustrating, angry response changed into a forgiveness response. So now you are weakened suddenly because you're not fired that connection memory. That part of the memory becomes weaker because you didn't fire it. Instead, you fired something more positive for you. So it becomes stronger. So one time, is it sufficient or not sufficient? We do this a few times. We learned about forgiveness, then we start experimenting. So we're doing it. So for one time you do it, you do a second time and a third time. And you do this and you do this, and in a few days, it becomes your being. You become that. You no longer even think of what frustration means, what anger means, what inconsiderate response means to somebody. Instead, you are readily are accepting. In that moment, you're forgiving, you're acknowledging the feelings. In that moment, you acknowledge the feelings. Correction may be necessary, that may be later, but there you acknowledge the feelings, and then you're going and then saying, okay, I understand you. So what could be a nasty response over a period of time changes into this forgives response. Now, what is that giving us that spark? What is that making that switch? It is that meditation. That meditation is building that awareness into us. That awareness to recognize that, yes, I'm about to burst out, I'm about to lose out here, and that awareness to recognize and say, I have another option to do right now, another option to respond. And that spark, that light coming up suddenly from that corner of the brain, which is talking and then putting that experience out and say, forgiveness is a better response. To build that conversation, build that moment, experience that moment better, forgiveness is a better response. So it gives that spark. And so that's meditation, is building that awareness into us. Meditation is also helping us create that glue. It plenty supplies that glue of neural connection glue. That glue is in short supply. Meditation creates lots of glue, because the more glue is there, the more rewiring of the brain circuits happen. And so this forgiveness response that you're given gets stored a lot more deeply, more because you need the glue to rewire networks, neural networks, it stores them. So meditation helps you to be in the moment with the right response and present you all options. You choose what you want, but it gives you that option. So dear friends, so the more we meditate and the more we learn, now we decide what we want to experience, what we want to relearn. If I have these frustrating moments and then I talk about it, how a friend cheated me in a business, and if I go on talking about it, reliving it, experiencing it with more people each time, even to the new employees you're hiring, you talk about it. To the new investors, you go and talk about how you got cheated, or know how this was a bad experience. That means you're reliving, you're making it stronger. And so you have more opportunities for that memory to come back and cause further regrets. So we have to decide, because the brain is working so unknowingly, a lot of times we are thinking about things that are not wanted. We have to slowly go away from it. Meditation is weakening that connection on one side. Meditation is strengthening that new learning on the other side. And whatever that we are, from learning to doing, we become of it. Whatever we are, we allow others to have the same. We are forgiving, and so we allow others to give that experience. We allow them to do the same. We give them the time and space. This is fundamentally very important in the context of emotional intelligence, in the context of dealing with people. This concept of what I'm recollecting, what I'm living, what I'm speaking is very important, because everything is going back into the brain and it is changing our responses to people. And so what am I learning and then what am I living is important into the emotional intelligence. We will from here as we go along, friends, in the rest of the week, and how this learning to doing to being, the more we learn to do and then become, how it's helping to change our response to the people. Thank you very much. When I should have taken my time before and then announced it, please go ahead. Thank you for joining, and we will see you all again tomorrow, more about emotional intelligence. Yes, Veena.
Happy morning, friends. Today evening, starting today evening, we have a program by Lawrence Guha Jolly. The program name is Bond. It's about friendship. So the timing will be 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. IST. Embrace the science of friendship. So 22nd, 23rd, and 24th November, Lawrence is doing this program. Please join in and enjoy the session. Also, we have our book club on the untold story of Sita starting at 8:15 a.m. IST today, and also in the evening at 7:30 p.m. IST. So please join in for the book club sessions and get benefited. And for the certificate program, we had sent 2 quizzes to our participants who had nominated for the certificate program. But we find that some of the participants have not answered. So please check in your emails and answer the first and second quiz so that you will be able to get the certificates from us. Because we require minimum 5 quizzes to be answered so that you get the certificate program certificates. So please check your emails and then answer the quiz, friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Veena. That bond program, we wanted to time it to this Emotional Intelligence Week. Ultimately, the one who has the highest amount of emotional intelligence is the one who is viewing every relationship as friendship. Friendship is unconditional, accepting somebody as is, in spite of knowing everything about a person. You can accept the person as is then is a true friendship. Know everything about the person and then still be able to accept with the understanding that we are all the same stuff. We all have our own experience. We all are going through our own stuff. So friendship is that, and then it is the science of friendship is a lot. There is a lot behind it. So Lawrence is going to talk about this for 3 days. It's lots of examples. It's really helps to reinforce or learn newer things during the program, what we're learning in the morning, and then echoed with additional examples by Lawrence there. So it's a great idea to take time to join. It's a shorter session, 45 minutes to 1 hour, and be with her in the morning. So thank you very much, Veena, for that. And no doubt those who are participating in quizzes and certificate, few years from now, and in fact, is already being asked by many, many companies, mindfulness, what are your habits? They don't directly ask you, but they say, what are your habits? They're looking for right answers in there. Yoga, meditation, contemplation, quietness, spending time with nature. These are the answers people are looking for. Because then if you have them, then you're naturally getting that energy and mindset change. So certificate from Buddha Seva Foundation absolutely is going to help. No doubt it's going to help significantly. So thank you all and have a wonderful day. So we'll meet you back again at 6 tomorrow.
Peace within me. Peace surrounding me. Peace from me. By thy grace, let there be peace. By thy grace, let there be peace. By thy grace, let there be peace within me. Peace surrounding me. Peace from me. By thy grace, let there be peace.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear friends. We'll meet you all tomorrow morning, same 6 a.m. IST. Have a great day.